I love them to death. I love them to death. They're such excellent streamlining and representation of a very classic turn-based formula, which was hard to get used to. So they made it easier to get used to, but they kept the punishing difficulty of the original 90s games by shit. I think it was Firaxis. If it wasn't, it was MicroProse, which was an absolute king of video games back in the day, certainly on PC as well. Yeah, MicroProse made some great games. Yeah, yeah. If Final Fantasy the conclusion 7 has a mode like Clair Obscur, I'm pretty much all but guaranteed to play through the game like that. Tice says Resi 4 Remake was the best remaster he's ever played personally. Mm, yeah, I think it was a little too much of a third person shooter and not enough of a Resident Evil game. Hmm. So, if you like games like that, I think there's a remake of a game called Fatal Frame. Did you ever play Fatal Frame? It was on PS2. It's one of the more famous PS2 games. Resi 6 is the worst. Don't mind 5, says Tice. Yeah, eh? Yeah, that was cool. I remember my buddy, the IT guy who works at the hospital in Kansas City, played through a bit of 5. We had fun. We had fun. We just got distracted by other things. Tice, big fan of Resi 9. Yeah, that's me too. That's why I'm reluctant to spend like 80, $90 on these new games because I already have so many games that I don't have time to play anymore. And I also have a backlog of games that I haven't played yet that I could get for 40 bucks. Z- Resi 7 was the one with Lady Dimitriescu, right? Oh, that was 8. Oh, that's so strange but creepy. I mean, it could work, right? That's so cool, man. I think you get a kick out of Fatal Frame, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a proper remake of Fatal Frame 2 coming out. It is oh well, there you go. So it is sometimes touted as the very best horror game series that there's ever been. Oh my God, Silent Hill 2. Oh, those nurses, man, they still stick with me. Pyramid Head. You know, another horror game that had really good sound design was a game for, I think it was OG Xbox and PS2 called The Suffering. Yeah, you tried that one, eh? It had a sequel. It wasn't as good, but the original, like they had these enemies that basically had Terminator or the T-1000 fucking sword arms, and they dragged these things across the walls and along the floors, and it would echo and reverberate throughout the prison that you were in. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. I never played the Evil Within though. I was just thinking of that. Yeah, that's what I hear. Hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I never had a chance to try them myself. Okay, I think I've heard of it. Cry of Fear. Every once in a while, you get a little gem like that that just goes on to be a legend. Crazy nowadays, the games that get made by either one person or a small team of like three, five people or less, you know? Like Manor Lords. Manor Lords is this like 7th century city builder. Oh, it's so good. It's made by one guy. It's unbelievable. That's cool. That's so cool. No kidding. Yeah, I knew that part. I knew that part. I love the fact that cuz like I've always ever since Watchdog 1 trailer debuted at whatever E3 it was, I've always had a grudge against Ubisoft because I feel like they outright tried to bamboozle me. Yeah, yeah. And they kind of from there on out they dropped the ball. Like they dropped the ball in the Assassin's Creed series. I know the yeah, the modern Assassin's Creeds have some loyal following, and rightfully so. I'm not saying they're bad games, but they definitely dropped the ball on the soul of Assassin's Creed. And like this yeah, okay, okay. Or was Origins the one set in ancient Greece or was that the one in Egypt? Yeah, okay. Tice was a big fan of Norse mythology, so he loved what was it called again? Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Hmm. Yeah, those old God of War games were so fucking good. I remember I rented a PS3 around the time it first came out, and its launch lineup was kind of shit. So I ended up renting a copy of I think it was God of War 2 or 3, and I ended up playing that on the PS3 the most of the time. It was just one of the best games from that era. Yeah, I hope they don't take too many liberties with it. One thing I think they'll probably not include are those mini games where you'd like smash a button to bring a bunch of girls to orgasm. Doesn't seem like many developers want to touch that stuff anymore, despite the fact that the vast majority of gamers are still boys, probably straight. Like, I think it would. Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and they they added a bunch of like new context that doesn't even need to be there. It just feels like an excuse to make sections of the game longer when they don't even need to be. I like all the best scenes in Final Fantasy remake are the scenes that are in the fucking first game. Mhm. Same here. Mhm. Mhm. And there are some fun bits, like when you first get to the Golden Saucer and they expand on Dio's character a little bit. It was they are charming if they're not a bit long-winded at the end of the day, and the production values are through the roof. And I'm very much looking forward to the conclusion and seeing how all of the white and dark shadows kind of intermingle, and the timelines kind of intersect, and how Sephiroth characters concludes and what the final battle is going to be like. Not too much, no. Hmm. It's drawn out. It is the whole. It's not Coral Canyon, is it? It is. Okay, so that whole North Corel, that's it. That whole scene in the original is perfect. It's perfectly paced. It's perfectly told. But in the remake, it drags on, and it just has a lot of things that don't really add to the rivalry and former relationship of those two anyway. So just kind of one of the failings of the new games, but generally speaking, I think they're great. I think they pay a great homage, and a lot of the scenes with Yuffie, the new materia whale monsters, whatever the fuck those things are. Yeah, they're cool. Like the birth of the emerald and ruby weapon, I'm assuming. Anyway, yeah, and Juno was probably the highlight of Rebirth. I loved every moment of being in Juno. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, but she's mandatory. Yeah, me too. I almost always had her in my party because she could release the doppelganger, and that was such a really cool, unique game mechanic. Yep. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Sid and Vincent gameplay is going to be like. Yeah. Okay, so that's the worst part of the two remakes so far is Red 13 and what they've done to his character.